What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to go over everything you might want to know with Gemini Earn. Is it safe? Should you do it? What are the risks to rewards? Everything you want to know is going to be hopefully covered in this video, so let's dive right in. So this past year, 2022 so far, we are at the end of April, and it has been an ugly start to the year. The SPY is down over 12%. The NASDAQ is down over 21%, and Bitcoin is down over 17%. So you might be wondering, where can I put my money? Where can I park my money short term to let all of this volatility kind of do its thing over the next couple of months as the interest rates continue to hike up? Or maybe you don't even care about that. You just want some kind of high yield savings account, but you know that traditional banks aren't giving you pretty much anything. These are considered high yield. I'd put high yield in parentheses because 0.6% is not high yield. 0.5% definitely isn't. And if you go to even more traditional like Chase, you're going to get 0.01%. And in my opinion, all these savings accounts aren't worth it because inflation is much higher than any of these APYs. So you're losing money no matter what. So that's when you might want to turn to something like Gemini Earn. You might see these advertisements saying that you could get 8.05%, or on the Gemini dollar, you're getting 6.9%. But is that actually true? It sounds like it's too good to be true. Well, recently I threw over $6,000 into Gemini Earn to give it a try. I actually did this a couple of days ago, and here's my interest already accruing. This is a daily accrual of interest, which is very cool. So it also compounds daily. And with that $6,100, I'm making roughly $1.15 every single day. And then at the end of the year, with that 6,000, I should make around $420. That is, as long as this yield stays the same at 6.9%. So now you might be asking yourself, well, how safe is it really? This just sounds like it's very risky, and it may not be the best place to put your money, and you're better off either putting money into a high yield savings account or just risking it and throwing it into the stock market and hope that it bounces. Well, I did the due diligence and all of the research needed to figure out where is this money coming from and where is it going, because you're just not getting money for letting it sit there. That money is being lent out. So Gemini is taking your money and they're actually lending it out. They're giving it to Genesis. And Genesis is then taking that and then giving it to institutional borrowers. I made this little graphic to kind of help you understand exactly what's going on and the moving parts involved. So this is Genesis, this G. This is Gemini, this is you, and this building are the institutional borrowers or accredited investors. For you to be accredited, you need to invest hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to even be able to borrow money from Gemini, which is through Genesis. But pretty much what's going on here is the institutional borrower is putting up Bitcoin as collateral, and they need to put up 200% of whatever they're borrowing at least. So they're putting that Bitcoin up as collateral. So that's being given to Gemini, and Gemini is locking up in storage. And then with that, that is how you are taking your money and you're actually lending it out to the borrower. But what's happening is you are giving it to Gemini, who's giving it to Genesis, who's then giving it to that institutional borrower. And just like any loan, they're going to have to pay interest on it. So they are taking that loan and they're slowly paying it back with interest, which is going to Genesis. So Genesis is getting Y%. I don't know how much Genesis are getting. Let's just say it's maybe 12%. Genesis is taking their cut and then giving Gemini maybe 10%. And then Gemini, taking their cut, is then giving you that 6.9%. So that's pretty much how all of this is working out. And if you jump over to Gemini, they're very transparent about it. If you scroll down, you'd actually see how Earn works. They pretty much explain what's going on and how they are partnered with Genesis. And then if you look into Genesis, Genesis is the leader for borrowing and lending out crypto. They've been doing it the longest in the industry, I think maybe back to 2013. I don't believe they've had any defaults, but you could check them out as well. Do your own research. That is definitely the key here. I sure did my own research. But that's how all of this is working. So knowing that my money that I'm lending is being collateralized by 200% and it's completely transparent. And so far, there hasn't been any news stories about Genesis defaulting or Gemini defaulting. That is why I want to take on the risk. Now, again, there's always risk, and I'm not saying that this is foolproof. Anyone of everyone can default. The government can default and then not have to pay back bonds. I mean, anything could happen and nothing's guaranteed in the future. So keep that in mind. There's always some form of risk, but to me, this is worth my level of risk. And I think that it's one of the safer places to park my money until maybe June or July. So I figured I might as well give it a shot and make a video about it to teach you guys about it. But what's cool on Gemini Earn, so if you go to gemini.com/earn, and this is what it's going to look like. If you go to calculate your earnings, it will actually show you how much you'll make. So you could earn on other cryptos, but I'm focusing on Gemini Dollar. So this is pretty much my high yield savings account right now. If I had $10,000 to invest, I'd make $1,427 over the course of 2 years. Click on 1 year, we're looking at 690. 3 years, 2,000, and 4 years would be 3,000. I don't have $10,000 in it yet. I put $6,100 into it. And if we look at that 1 year return, there's that $420 I was talking about. Now, I do plan on putting more in, and you may upload some money and then you start to do some math here and you wonder, okay, if there's $6,100, or let's call it 10,000 just to make life easier, you should make $690 in a year. So you are going to accrue interest daily, which is very cool, and that daily interest will compound. But if you do the math, so if you take 690 and divide that by 365, I should be making $1.89 with that 10,000. That is actually not the case. You're not going to see that $1.89 on the first day. It's gonna be a little less. And that's because this is your annual yield, not your daily yield. Let me show you what I mean. So if you are getting compounded annually with $10,000 at 6.9, you're expected to make $690 from that 10,000. Here's your total interest right here, $690. Easy math. But it is compounded daily. So if we were to do daily, we're actually making more because the first day we have $10,000 in our account. The second day we're going to have $10,001. So that $1 is already accruing interest on the very next day. So it's not 6.9% with a daily compound, it's 6.9 annually. So really your daily is going to be 6.673%. And if you do the math, here's 10,000, 6.73 daily. That is how we get that $10,690. That's how we'll come to our annual yield of 6.9. That's really getting into the fine details, and we're only talking about a couple of cents here, but it's something that I noticed right away. I noticed, hey, hold on, I was supposed to get $1.35 or something like that for my first day and only got $1.15. And I wanted to know where that discrepancy was. That's where it was. And as I see each day pass by, this obviously gets a little bit bigger each day. The payout each day gets bigger. It started at $1.15, then $1.18, then $1.21. So after that full year, it should equal $420. Now, there just isn't the Gemini dollar. You could also invest in Ethereum. Well, you could earn on Ethereum, Bitcoin, all of these other cryptos with all of these different interest rates. To me, it's not worth trying to get 1.2% alpha on top of my Ethereum. My Bitcoin is locked up in cold storage, and I think that that's the best place for it. I definitely don't want to put it on an exchange just to get an extra percent. Doesn't make sense. I'm not willing to take that kind of risk. But for the extra cash that I have on hand that I'm not ready to invest into the stock market, I want to wait till all of these rate hikes happen So maybe towards the end of June or July, or I may even wait till October, then I'll take that 6,000 and then continue to reinvest it into the stock market. So that's why I feel that this is a safe place, at least for me, to put a couple $1,000s and get a nice 6.9% interest. And I could withdraw, which is redeem. I could redeem this whenever I want. I could click on it right now. I'm not going to. But if I were to click on it and then I could redeem the full amount, it will say it could take up to 5 business days because they need to recall the loan. So pretty much Gemini would have to go to Genesis and recall the loan from the institution that's borrowing it. It said it took 5 days. I actually tested before this video and before I put more money in. I started with $100 just to see how it worked. And then I recalled that, and it didn't take 5 days. It only took, I think, 24 hours, or not even 24 hours. So it's very quick, and they email you too as soon as your funds are available. And then you can withdraw that and bring it back to your regular bank account or invest it in something else, whatever you want to do with it. So that was another thing that's good to keep in mind. It may not be 24 hours. It may take 5 days. But to me, I trust Gemini. Again, I'm not saying for you to just listen to me and trust me. Do your own research. And if you're not stuck in New York like I am, there are other options out there. Lend is another one. And you can see Lend also uses Genesis. Genesis is the big player that everyone is borrowing and giving money to get this yield. So they are a very reputable company, but Lend is another one you could use. And instead of GUSD, you could actually get 8% on USDC or 5% on your Bitcoin. And there's a couple of other places like BlockFi and some other apps, especially if you're not in New York, if you're in different states, it's definitely more favorable. New York is the hardest state in America to do anything crypto related. But luckily, there is Gemini. For anyone stuck in New York like me, you can utilize it. That's all I got for you guys. That is Gemini Earn. If you're looking into some alternative high yield savings account, this may be something you want to consider. If you like this video, guys, smash that like button. And as always, I will see you in the next one.